Uh-oh, here we are. Do you know what today is? Today is the day. Some people call it Patriots Day. Some people call it the insurrection that was but wasn't but was. Some call it the psyop of all psyops by the CIA. And some say that that's called 9/11. But today is January 6th. We're here, everybody. January 6th, the day that Donald Trump is the president again or whatever because they count the votes. Fun fact. Best fact of the day. Media keeps ignoring it, but it's going to be memeable everywhere. The person who has to count the votes for Donald Trump is Kamala Harris. The ultimate bit of irony is watching that lady have to literally certify Donald Trump. This is why they all went quiet as soon as he won. Because they're like, crap, we have to do all of this now. Oh, man. But in other news, there's a winter storm that's crossed the entire United States. So I guess basically we're living in the next ice age. So watch the movie Ice Age, now available on Disney+. I'm going to start getting fire alarms here, so maybe you'll get some fire alarms in the middle of my episode. Hopefully I'll get it out before then. Besides the counting of the election, we have a little bit of more information on the New Orleans guy. Not a lot of information on the Cybertruck guy. Let me detail that real quick. Sean Ryan podcast, go check it out. The guy who blew himself up in the Cybertruck wrote a letter to a military person. The guy's a Green Beret that blew himself up. I think he did not mean to kill anybody other than himself. I think that the government was after him. And my leading theory, very Alex Jones here, is that the guy in New Orleans was sent by the FBI and sent by the military to distract us from what the guy in the Cybertruck is doing. Because if you notice the Cybertruck, they're trying to make that shit disappear. Now with this letter out, I get it. And then the New Orleans stuff, every single time it feels just so set up. Like they got like our last episode, the reporter was like walking through the man's house. Now in this episode, we got the FBI has the meta glasses. They have glasses the guy was recording on with meta glasses, and they just happen to be able to pull the footage off of him. So I don't know. That's my little fun theory is that, we live in a world where the government was like, no, we can't talk about the drones. That man's blowing himself up in a Cybertruck. Hurry, send yourself through New Orleans and run through some people so we got a story to cover. Wag the dog, maybe. I don't know. Just, it's in my head, but I'm also trying to get it out of my head because it's a little crazy. Other than that, congestion pricing and pricing across the board, lots of shit changes on the new year, like in the new year. Especially like after the first, all of a sudden people will be like, oh, I got a new display for you. Oh, we decided to change the way we're going to make these payments. Everything is just a scam to make more money. And New York is the number one scam because New York is just, they're stealing $9 from everybody driving across a bridge. I thought it was more than $9 already, so I don't even understand. And like this is supposed to prevent people driving into Manhattan do not care about a $9 toll. I'm pretty sure the Washington Bridge is like $11 now. So you just throw your hands up in your driverless Tesla or whatever, and you just go, I don't care. I guess I'm eating $9 today. So I don't think it's going to do shit. And I don't think they're going to get the subway fixed. They already got a loan for the money they're going to make on the toll. So they're able to like fix the subway today. Did they? No. So I'm Alex R. Wagner. It's January 6th, 2025. There is a winter storm a-brewing across the world. And this is No News is News.
I think it's just so far the sky, you know.
So last night over dinner, I told my kids about the decision that I'm sharing with you today. I intend to resign as party leader, as prime minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide competitive process. Last night, I asked the president of the Liberal Party to begin that process. This country deserves a real choice in the next election, and it has become clear to me that if I'm having to fight internal battles, I cannot be the best option in that election.
If the president goes forward with pardoning vast numbers of people involved in that violence, he will begin his new administration the way he ended his last administration, and that is by celebrating violence against our democracy. I think that would be a terrible start, send a terrible message about our democracy, about lawlessness, about people who attacked police officers. It'd be exactly the wrong message on, and the wrong way to start out an administration.
Now, it didn't end that day. As you know, he called out to these people to continue their violence. My husband being a victim of all of that, and he still has injuries from that attack. So it just goes on and on. It isn't something that happens and then it's over. No, once you are attacked, you have consequences that continue. So I don't, it's really a strange person who's going to be president of the United States who thinks that it's okay to pardon people who are engaged in an attack.
Do you think the nonviolent attackers deserve to be pardoned?
The nonviolent, I think that's a violent attacker with the intention.
The violence itself.
Yeah.
The violent language, you think?
The violent language, yes, the intention. And of course, the intention to attack the Vice President of the United States.
Talk quickly about the president-elect's cabinet picks. Kash Patel for FBI director. That comes against the backdrop of this latest terror attack in New Orleans. You, of course, serve on the Judiciary Committee. If Kash Patel is confirmed, will you be able to work with him? You've been quite critical of him.
Well, first of all, Kash Patel should not be confirmed. And I think the terrorist attack in New Orleans and my heart goes out to those who have lost loved ones in that attack, just underscores again the importance of having someone directing the FBI that has experience, that has judgment, that has character, that will prioritize defending the country against the violence we saw in New Orleans or the violence we saw on January 6th, not someone whose top priority is political vendettas, who believes in deep state conspiracy thinking, not someone who is as unqualified as Kash Patel. So Kash Patel is an easy one. He should not be confirmed.
About the character of some of President-elect Trump's picks, from Pete Hegseth to Tulsi Gabbard. As we sit here today, are you prepared to vote yes on all of his nominees?
Well, it's a process, and we're gonna. What I've promised them is a fair process, and so these nominees are going to go through a committee where they get a lot. They're going to have to answer questions. There will be some hard questions posed. We're going to do everything we can to ensure that he has the people he wants in place. I think you give great deference and latitude to a president when it comes to people he wants to put into key positions, and national security ones are especially important. But the Senate has a role, advice and consent. And we intend, we have a lot of our senators who take that role very seriously. And so we will make sure that these nominees have a process, a fair process in which they have an opportunity to make their cases not only to the members of the committee and ultimately to the full Senate, but also to the American people. And that's underway as we speak. But my hope and expectation is that the president will get the people that he wants in place to implement his agenda.
He was in town at least 2 days. During that time, Gabbard, using meta glasses, recorded a video as he rode through the French Quarter on a bicycle. This video shows Gabbard during that trip in October with his meta glasses. As we continue to learn more about that trip, we ask anyone who may have seen or interacted with him to contact us. Now, for more information, meta glasses appear to look like regular glasses, but they allow a user to record videos and photos hand-free.
Are the individuals that are of concern, do we know where they are? I mean, in terms of those 8, we know they were detained and 5 of them were actually sent back to Tajikistan.
You never know what you don't know. And so none of us, certainly in positions of responsibility, would ever say that there's not terrorists in the United States. Now, I'll say what I said before, which is that we have the very best people and the very best technology looking to root these people out and find them. But if the question is, what should Americans be afraid of? What has killed Americans since 9/11? It hasn't been people sneaking across the border. And that's not to say that the border shouldn't be secure. The border must be secure. But what has been killing Americans, whether it was Fort Hood in 2009, I think, whether it was the New York attacks that killed 8 people in 2017, what we just sadly saw in New Orleans, it's actually Americans who are in this country. Actually, in a bizarre number of cases, service people.
What do you think was the root cause of Democrats across the board loss?
Well, look, I told my caucus, and I'll say it here, too. We should regard this election, certainly it was a loss, but it's also a challenge. And we did some things right. Against very severe headwinds, we kept 4 of those 7 contested Democratic seats. But we did some things wrong, and we have to look in the mirror and see what we did wrong. And then there's some things we didn't do that we should have done. One of the things we have to do is we must focus on the working families of America. We believe in them.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. All right. Are we ready? Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
As to the status of McCarthy. Oh boy. Brandon Aubrey, again with the penalty, the ball was spotted at the 50, and he's still going to boot it out of bounds. They're going to somehow give great field position at the 40-yard line to Washington here.
Cameraman tried to deflect it.
Hopefully all right, pal. We saw KP in the shot there, too, trying to maneuver it.
First down. He's just smiling.